But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. Let me tell you about my great God. Hey guys, Pastor Tim here. Hope you guys are doing all right. Hope you're ready to get your day started off in God's Word. We are in 2 Samuel chapter 19. We have just gotten done with the aftermath, or not the aftermath. We're dealing with the aftermath in this chapter. We just finished the rebellion of Absalom, and David is mourning his son to begin this chapter. And it's actually kind of an awkward situation because it gets to the point where Joab actually has to come up to David and kind of smack some sense to him, so to speak, and say, hey, all right, yes, you lost your son, but what you're doing right now is very dangerous because it's starting to seem to the men that you care more about your enemy, which in this case was his son Absalom, who caused this rebellion, than you care about your own men who risked their lives to keep you alive, to save you, and to restore the kingdom unto you. And if you're not careful, if you continue on this path of mourning for your son, who rebelled against you, who did wicked, evil things to you and against your family, your people, your own people are going to rebel against you as well. It's as if you care more about this man who's done evil against you than those who cared for you and try to protect you this entire time. And so David, he gets back to his senses, and he goes and he presents himself before the people of Israel, so to speak, and they start the process of reestablishing David as the king of Israel, spreading word out to all the different tribes. And specifically, we see a lot with the tribe of Judah in this chapter. In fact, much of the tribe of Judah comes to meet David at the Jordan River. And then we get some repentant people, so to speak, come out in this chapter as well. If you remember Shimei, same guy, the relative of Saul, who came and cursed David and mocked him and literally threw stones at him while he was marching away from Absalom, now comes with a large company, actually 1,000 people from his tribe of Benjamin. They come with the tribe of Judah to David to kind of pay homage to David and show like, oh, I know I did some evil things. Forgive me. I'm sorry. Kind of like a guy when a kid does something wrong and they know their parents know they did something wrong, but they know it's better if they circumvent that anger by trying to apologize before their parents can get lay the hammer on them, so to speak. That's what we kind of see Shimei doing here. He's coming down and he's asking David for forgiveness, and David forgives him. It is kind of interesting to note that he brings 1,000 men with him. I don't think he was expecting to do battle with David. All right, that would be a very foolish thing, especially when you have the whole tribe of Judah coming there as well. But it may have been a political maneuver on his part to show David, hey, if you do something to me at this point, you risk probably causing another civil war because, I got the whole tribe of Benjamin backing me up as well. But David, he holds his peace. He knows he's about to become king again, and he knows vengeance is the Lord's. And we see that Shimei gets his when Solomon becomes king later on in 1 Kings. But not only that, we see Mephibostheth as well. Now, if you recall, Mephibostheth, his servant Ziba lied to David, saying that Mephibostheth betrayed David. He's trying to side with Absalom, but that turns out not to be the case. Ziba was lying the whole time. He actually left Mephibostheth behind and took it upon himself to take advantage of the situation for his own gain. And David, realizing this, he wants to restore unto Mephibosheth some of his land. He wants to elevate him once again. And Mephibosheth said, you know what, I don't care if you give me anything back. You've already rescued me. You already redeemed me, so to speak, from my poverty, from my low estate as a crippled lame man, as the son of a forsaken king and prince. You've redeemed me from that and made me as one of your sons. I don't care if you give me land. All I care is that my king is returned again unto his throne, that's kind of the main thing that really stood out to me from this chapter, is just Mephibosheth's attitude towards David. I hope is reflective of our attitude towards Christ as well. We shouldn't live expecting God to give us things. We shouldn't live thinking like we're owed something because we're trying to live this Christian life. God doesn't owe us anything. All right. Our desire, our care should just be the fact that we love God because of how he redeemed us from our sin-lost state. And Mephibosheth, he loved David because he redeemed him from his rejected state as a rejected prince of the line of Saul and made him as if he was one of his own sons. And none of the things that David could give to him mattered to Mephibosheth. He just cared that his king was back on the throne and he loved him. And just the same, none of the things of this world should matter to us as well. All right, just the fact that we understand God is on the throne and we love him and we want to serve him with our lives, much like Mephibosheth in this chapter. The chapter goes on. There's some more just some little disputes between like Judah and the rest of the tribes, that weren't a part of this whole bringing David back over into Israel thing. But the main thing is that David becomes or is established as the king of Israel once again. Not that he ever lost it, but after this whole turmoil with Absalom and the rebellion, it's just kind of a ceremonial thing that they had to do just to show everyone that, yes, David is still the king of Israel. And that's all I got for today's chapter, guys. I hope you start your week off right, that you continue to be consistent and constant in your devotional life. Let your accountability partner know what it is you got out of God's word today. Stay safe, stay healthy. God bless.